Leia had always needed to win. Every debate, no matter how trivial, had to end with her voice sharp enough to prove her right. That night, frustration boiled over. Her tone grew harsher, her words faster, until one slipped through her lips before she could stop it. You argue too much for a man. No wonder you fall short where it matters. The instant the sentence escaped, everything changed. The air between them didn't erupt, it collapsed. Marcus didn't yell or return her cruelty. He simply froze. His jaw tightened. His hand curled slightly into a fist, and his eyes darkened with something heavier than anger. It wasn't rage holding him still. It was humiliation, a raw wound splitting open that Leia hadn't known existed. Without speaking, he walked away. Leia remained in the silence, expecting him to return like he always did, ready for round two. But this time he didn't. The silence stretched, sharp and jagged, cutting deeper than any insult. That night, Marcus never returned to their bed. She thought maybe he would slip in while she was asleep, and that in the morning life would reset as usual. But at dawn, his side of the bed remained untouched. A knot twisted inside her. As she searched the house, she found him in the spare room, seated stiffly on the edge of the bed, staring at nothing. He wasn't sulking. He wasn't stewing. He was simply absent, already halfway gone. From the doorway, she called his name. No response. She asked why he had slept there, if he was still angry, if he would come back. His eyes flicked toward her, but when he finally spoke, his voice was quiet, almost weightless, and far heavier than fury. Days passed, but Marcus didn't return. If she walked into a room, he walked out. If she spoke, he stayed silent. When she reached for his hand, he pulled away. This wasn't a quarrel anymore. It felt like the end. Leia tried desperately to fix it. She cooked his favorite meals, but he ate without tasting. She left him notes filled with apologies, but he ignored them. She cracked jokes, brushed against him, reminisced about happier times. Nothing softened him. That was when it struck her. She had always believed that fighting, no matter how ugly, still meant there was something alive between them. Yelling meant they cared. But this silence was different. This was the sound of something already broken. Her words hadn't just wounded Marcus in the moment. They had cut through old scars. As a teenager, he had been mocked relentlessly, whispers following him down school hallways. A cruel joke in the locker room spiraled into a rumor that never died. He could still remember the look on the girl he once loved when she heard it, her cold detachment, as if he'd stopped existing in her eyes. That memory clung to him for years. Later, as an adult, betrayal struck deeper. He caught his partner with another man. When he demanded an explanation, she didn't cry or beg. She only shrugged and said the words that haunted him. "You're not enough for me." From then on, Marcus buried the pain behind walls, so even he believed he was fine. Then came Leia. With her, he felt whole again, safe enough to believe the past no longer held power. Until that night, you argued too much for a man. No wonder you're lacking. That one careless sentence dragged him back through every echo of shame and betrayal. Only this time, the cut came from the one person he trusted most. For the first time in their marriage, Marcus wondered if he could ever see her the same way again. Leia clung to the hope that time would heal things. But with each passing day, Marcus withdrew further. One evening, she stepped into the spare room determined to try again. He wasn't there. The sound of the shower hummed in the distance, but his phone sat glowing on the bed. She never snooped, but her eyes caught the words on the screen. Subject: initiating divorce proceedings. Her breath caught. Divorce. She tried to tell herself it was a mistake. But deep down she knew. When Marcus stepped out, she whispered, "Are you really ending our marriage over one fight?" For the first time in weeks, his eyes locked on hers. There was no fury, no heartbreak, only emptiness. His voice was steady. "You think this is just about that night." And in that moment, she understood. It wasn't only about her cruel words. It was his history, his scars, all the unspoken distance they had ignored. That night had simply tipped everything over the edge. Desperation took over. She poured everything into apologies, small gestures, and attempts to remind him of their love. He responded only with short, hollow words. His silence told her all she needed to know. Did he even want to stay? She didn't need him to say it. His absence screamed the truth. She had always believed regret could be undone, that love could cover mistakes. But some wounds reached too deep. One night, she found him packing. A suitcase lay open on the bed, clothes folded neatly inside. Panic surged through her. "Are you really leaving?" she whispered. Marcus didn't answer immediately. He exhaled, his hands resting on the suitcase, then finally turned to her. His tone was steady, but it carried the truth she feared. "I don't know if I can get past this." The words landed harder than any outburst. Tears stung her eyes as pride gave way. "I love you," she whispered, voice trembling. "I made a mistake. I wish I could take it back. Just tell me what to do." For the first time in weeks, something flickered in his expression. Not emptiness, hesitation, conflict. He paused and spoke quietly. "You can't unsay what you said, and I can't unhear it." Her heart sank, but then he added, almost reluctantly, "Maybe I'm not ready to leave. Not yet." It wasn't forgiveness. It wasn't promise. But it was something. That night, Marcus stayed. The distance remained. The scars, too. The road to healing would be long. Leia finally understood. Love was never about winning arguments. It was about surviving the wounds they left behind. Whether this could endure, only time would tell.